Takamatsu, Beriberi, and the origins of modern ninjutsu. For decades, historians and martial arts researchers have debated the historical claims surrounding the ninjutsu lineages associated with Takamatsu, Toshitsugu, who lived from 1889 to 1972. According to the traditions passed down through his student, Masaki Hatsumi, Takamatsu is the last grandmaster of several ancient ninja schools, including Togaku-ryu. These traditions are said to stretch back hundreds of years, but there is a major discrepancy. Despite the extraordinary nature of these claims, independent historical evidence supporting them has never clearly surfaced. This has led some researchers to ask a controversial question: what if the stories themselves have another explanation? One important clue comes directly from Hatsumi himself. Hatsumi has repeatedly stated that Takamatsu suffered from beriberi, a disease caused by a deficiency of vitamin B1, also known as thiamine. This detail may be more important than it first appears. Beriberi was extremely common in Japan during the Edo and Meiji periods. It was so widespread that it became a serious concern for the Japanese military, with large numbers of cases continuing into the early 20th century and even into World War II. According to Hatsumi's account, Takamatsu became so weak from this illness that he could barely walk. He reportedly retreated into the mountains, where he encountered a Yamabushi, a mountain ascetic. The Yamabushi supposedly performed kuji and rituals, after which Takamatsu recovered. It is an intriguing story, but modern medicine tells us something important about severe vitamin B1 deficiency. When untreated, beriberi can progress into a neurological condition known as Wernicke-Korsakoff syndrome. This disorder affects the brain and can produce a combination of physical and cognitive symptoms. In the early stage, called Wernicke's encephalopathy, patients may experience confusion, disorientation, and difficulty thinking clearly. They often develop problems with balance and coordination, making walking difficult. Eye movement abnormalities, tremors, and low blood pressure are also common symptoms. If the condition continues, it can develop into Korsakoff syndrome, a disorder that primarily affects memory. People with Korsakoff syndrome often suffer severe memory impairment. They may struggle to form new memories and may lose access to older ones. But one of the most remarkable symptoms is something called confabulation. Confabulation is not lying. A person who confabulates is not trying to deceive anyone. Instead, their brain fills in gaps in memory by creating stories or details that feel completely real to them. These memories can range from minor inaccuracies to elaborate narratives. The person genuinely believes them, even when they are clearly inconsistent with reality. In other words, the stories are real to the person telling them. Some researchers have suggested that this may provide a possible explanation for the extraordinary claims surrounding Takamatsu's life. Consider the nature of many of these stories. According to various accounts, Takamatsu defeated a professional sumo wrestler at the age of 13 after jumping into the ring. At 15, he allegedly defeated a 27-year-old karate expert, while another fighter refused to face him because he supposedly knew secret techniques. Other stories describe him disguising himself to escape attackers, traveling to China where he fought numerous matches, training hundreds of students, and even serving as the personal bodyguard of the last emperor of China. These accounts read less like documented history and more like outlandish legendary folklore, but confabulation offers a different way to interpret them. If a person experiences memory disruption caused by severe vitamin B1 deficiency, their mind may unconsciously weave together fragments of information from many sources: books, stories, historical research, popular culture, and personal experiences. Over time, these elements can merge into a coherent personal narrative that feels completely authentic. From this perspective, Takamatsu's martial knowledge may have come from real sources such as Kyokushin-ryu traditions that he was banished from, historical writings, martial arts literature, and the popular culture of early 20th century Japan. But within a mind affected by confabulation, those influences could gradually become part of a personal life story. This theory could also explain some of the controversies surrounding historical scrolls and lineages. Critics have noted unusual details in certain genealogies, including figures that appear strikingly similar to characters from Japanese popular media of the era. If confabulation was involved, Takamatsu may have sincerely believed that earlier scrolls had been lost, and that he, as the last inheritor, needed to recreate them. In that scenario, the recreated history would not be a deliberate fabrication. It would be a memory reconstruction. Another interesting detail involves the Toda family. A book published in 1939 mentioned the Toda family in connection with the Iga region, historically associated with ninja activity. Within roughly 20 years of that publication, Takamatsu is reportedly identifying the Toda family as his own lineage and referring to a teacher known as Toda Sensei. Some researchers have suggested that historical information encountered through books or research could have gradually become integrated into Takamatsu's personal narrative. Age may also be relevant. Takamatsu is reportedly about 69 years old when he first met Tatsumi. Advanced age, combined with the nutritional deficiency, can increase the risk of neurological complications. Photographs of Takamatsu also show a very thin physique, with visible ribs, something that some observers have suggested could be consistent with long-term nutritional issues. Tatsumi himself also stated that Takamatsu had low blood pressure throughout his life and would drink a glass of salt water every morning. Low blood pressure is another symptom associated with beriberi. All of this raises an important question. If Takamatsu was indeed suffering from the long-term neurological effects of vitamin B1 deficiency, could confabulation have played a role in the stories he told about ninjutsu history? And if so, what does that mean for the lineages that emerged from those stories? This perspective does not require assuming that anyone was intentionally lying. Instead, it suggests something far more human, the possibility that memory, illness, and storytelling combined to create a powerful martial arts mythology. A mythology that eventually became the foundation of modern ninjutsu traditions. Understanding that possibility does not diminish the dedication of those who practice these arts today, but it may help explain why the historical evidence behind some of the most extraordinary claims has remained so elusive.